I'm Jill, and this is the third week, second day of our 4-week program. Today is a low impact, high intensity cardio workout. So low impact means no jumping. High intensity means we're gonna keep our heart rate elevated with the moves and with the timer that we're using. And cardio means, well, we're working our cardiovascular system. We are working our muscles as well. We're gonna start with a warm up, we're gonna end with a cool down, and we'll be done in around 20 minutes. It is body weight, meaning no equipment other than your body. Your body is your equipment, and you probably will want a mat or a large towel that you can work on, although a towel can be a little bit dangerous because you might trip. So only use the towel for the moves when we're down on the ground if you're not using a mat. And then I do have a water bottle and a little sweat towel because I am expecting to work up quite a sweat in this workout. We're gonna get started with the 3 warm-up moves that we've been doing in our strength and cardio workouts throughout this series. 5 warm-up moves, and then we're gonna jump right in to our workout, which is 10 movements. Then we'll have a rest, and then we'll jump right back in and repeat those 10 movements, and we'll end with a nice cool down. Okay team, I'm gonna hit the timer, and we're gonna start with that march in place and the arm swing. So knees driving up, and then arms swing across the body, and then they open up. So opening up our chest, warming up our upper back, warming up our core, warming up our glutes, warming up our quads and our heart. Okay, getting the blood pumping safely before we jump right into the workout. It's like you wouldn't just start from, 0 to 80 miles an hour with a car getting onto the highway. All right, next is gonna be a step jack. So feet about hip width distance apart. And we're gonna step one foot out and then bring the hands up overhead. If it's too much to bring the hands up overhead, you can bring them out into a lateral raise. So shoulders are back, which means my shoulder blades are snuggled back and down. They're not forward. We want to stay safe. Wow, that's felt like a long 35 seconds. Okay, we're gonna come to one end of our mat or our space, and we're gonna take lateral steps with a bent arm lateral raise, and we will have some lateral movement in our workout. I like to incorporate lateral movement into most, if not all of my workouts. Make sure you're breathing. I'm sure you've noticed that your breathing is becoming a little bit heavier. Your lungs have to work a little bit harder. Heart has to pump a little bit harder. That's good, that's what we want. Okay, now we have a butt kick in a row. So feet a little wider than hip width distance apart. Little athletic bend in the knees. Arms out at shoulder height, palms down, and then kick the heel into the glute, and then hug the elbows together behind you. So working the upper back, opening up the quadricep, warming up the hamstring. Of course, the glutes are working. All right, now we're gonna come into that heel tap front press. And if you don't need the rest, you never have to take the rest, friends, okay? So if you're ready to jump in, jump in. Otherwise, now that the bell has chimed, join me. So like you're pressing a wall or a door or something forward and away from you. And then of course, the more confident you feel, the faster you can go. All right, we're gonna have a little rest, so grab a sip of water if you need it. I am gonna grab a quick sip of water. Okay, you're gonna hear the bell, and we have 45 seconds. If you don't need the 45 seconds, I invite you just to come down into some squats. So why don't I get us introduced to our first move while we have this 45 seconds. And it's gonna be a butt kick and a punch. So a punch forward and a butt kick. And then the second move is a drop squat and a reach. So a drop squat is your fingers touch the ground, and then a reach. If your fingertips don't touch the ground without your chest leaning forward, then I don't want your fingertips to touch the ground. All right, we're on with the bell in the butt kick and the punch. So punch out quickly and then snap the elbow back. And then let's try to go a little bit faster. So imagine that punching bag is right out in front of you at nose height. I don't know, those are terrible noises. Ignore my noises. These are the things that go on in my head while we're doing this. See, it's important to have fun while we're working out. All right, so now that drop squat. So my feet are a little wider than hip width distance apart, heels in, toes out. Sit like you're sitting down into that imaginary chair until your chest can stay forward, and then reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Press through your heels. Inhaling as you lower to sit in the chair, and exhaling as you reach those fingertips up. Oh, that was kind of spicy. All right, next is what's called a 3-step drill. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 steps and a knee drive. 3 steps and a knee drive. 1, 2, 3, laterally, 1, 2, 3. And it's opposite elbow and opposite knee. And if you want to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit faster, you can make it a little bigger and a little faster. Okay, now we have a kickboxing move. We're going to plant the left leg, step the right toes back, bring both hands up, and we're going to drive the right knee towards the hand. And we're going to use our core to stop that hand and knee from really slamming into each other. I suppose in the world of, MMA fighting, you'd have someone's head between your hands here. But for the sake of our workout, it's just a knee drive to the hands. So I really feel this in my right side body and in my left bum. So looking out in front of you. Okay, so now we're going to do the other side. Right foot is grounded. The knee is over the ankle. Big step back with the left toes. Fingertips up. And then drive the knee and the hands together. Bring your mind to your right butt cheek for a minute. Give it a squeeze. And then think about your core turning on even more as you use it to stop an explosive connection between the hands and the knee. Whew, okay, catch your breath. We're gonna do punch up, punch down, punch down. So the toes pivot out as the same hand punches. So right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. Right hand, right foot, left hand, left foot. Now let's see if we can go a little bit faster. If you get mixed up, it's all good. I definitely just did. I don't know if you saw me. You know what? I mess up all the time. It's okay. We all do. You just gotta get back up and keep going. All right, now we're gonna have a squat to toes. So squats to tiptoes. And then after this, we'll be down on the mat. And I don't know if that's good news or bad, because, well, we'll just say I have to tell you what's coming. So squat, come up on the tippy toes, and hold. So all of these moves get our heart rate way up without jumping. So they're friendly on our joints. And then they're all moves that you could progress into plyometric moves, which means you add a jump at the end of our 4-week program. All right, friends, we're down on the mat, hand release push up. So from our knees, but we're not straight up and down. We're at an angle, so the palms are slightly forward from the shoulders. Lower down, lift the palms, and press back up. Inhale as you lower with control, no flopping like fish, down to the mat. And exhale as you really press that mat away. So the elbows are hugged in like little cricket wings back there. And this is really working my chest and triceps, which are those muscles in the back of the arms. Okay, now we're gonna come into a plank, which is extra spicy after doing those push-ups. I'm gonna come this direction. So palms under shoulders, eye of the elbow faces forward. Corkscrew the palms into the mat. Press the mat away. Lift the spot between your shoulder blades. Pull your shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Pull your low belly back up and in. So not sucking your stomach in, but bracing your stomach like someone was going to give you a little punch. Squeeze your butt. Press through your heels towards the wall behind you. Make sure that you're looking out in front of you, about 3 feet. You want to keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Keep breathing. Come down to your knees for a second. It's going to get spicy, friends. Our last move is a doozy. And if it's not good for you to go from the ground to standing, you're going to do squats the entire time. Otherwise, join me. We start in a plank, step the right foot up, step the left foot up, come to a squat, and then step it back out. So yes, this is a walking burpee. We are advanced beginners. Like I said, if this is not right for you, you're doing squats the entire time. Remember, look out in front of you. Squat down, palms to the mat. Woo! Okay. Come down to your knees for a minute. Regroup. Bring it all together. Get it together, okay? Right here, right now. Aim those nasty comments at me. It's fine. I can't hear you. We have 45 seconds and we jump right back in. If you don't feel like you need the 45-second break, I encourage you to step it up this round. Last time we're gonna do these exercises today, so leave it all out there, friends. That's what HIIT is about. High intensity training is about. Also, if you feel like you're about ready to fall down, scale it back. Press pause. Okay, we're on in 10 seconds with the butt kick and the punch. This time I'm gonna invite you to get a little bit lower and a little bit faster. So the punching bag, somebody lowered it, okay? Remember, punch it out, snap it back. And the faster we move here, the higher the heart rate gets. And the beauty of the low intensity is that we can do it often. So things like power walking or hiking are considered low intensity. Certain stationary biking, if you're not standing, is low intensity. These are things that you can incorporate into your week of workouts in between the days when you're doing strength training. All right, now it's that drop squat. So feet wider than hip width distance apart, heels in, toes out, chest lifted. Now, if you want to make it really spicy, you're going to come up onto your toes, but that's just an optional level of spiciness, okay? So if you try it out and you're like, nope, perfect, you don't have to do it. You know what? You're not a tree, you're not planted anywhere. Make sure those knees aren't caving in, pressing through the pinky edge of the feet and squeezing the buns to come up. Woo! All right, we're gonna do those 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 drills. Okay, 3 steps in one direction, knee drive, 3 steps in the other direction, knee drive. Drive, 1, 2, 3, drive, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, I invite you to hold the knee drive for just a 1 or 2 counts. So this could turn into a lateral run, right, with a knee drive. It's a plyometric progression. A progression is we take a move and we make it harder. All right, the Muay Thai. It's what I know it to be called. I don't know. It's a kickboxing term, I believe. Left leg is forward. Now, if you want, you can make a fist with your right hand and press it down with your left towards that right knee. Okay, squeeze your left butt cheek. So the left butt cheek, the left quadricep, the big muscle in the top of the leg are very fired up right now. And then of course the core, because we're bracing that impact. Okay, so now my left leg is in front, sitting back onto the heel. So notice that my knee isn't over my toes. My knee is way back between my toes. Make sure you're staying even, that whichever side you did on the other side is not the side that you're doing now. And then keep your gaze out in front of you. Woo, heart rate is really going up. Woo, okay. Shake the legs out. And then we have that punch up, punch down. So get those punchers ready. At face level. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Now to make this move harder, you could always add some really light dumbbells into the mix. We have one more standing move, which is our squat tippy toe. also known as a triple extension. Okay? So feet about hip width distance apart, toes in the direction of 11 and 1 if you were standing on a clock. Can you hear my breath? Woo! And then come up. And if you want, press the arms back as you hold the tippy toes. So in addition to getting our heart rate way up there, this move strengthens our calves. It strengthens our balance, which is so important. If you don't do balance training, I suggest that you start like yesterday, so now. Okay, hand release push-up. So starting a tabletop, walk your palms out about a palm's distance, and then maybe even walk your knees back. Toes can be on the ground. Corkscrew the hands into the mat, lift the palms, and then press back up. So we're lowering for about a count of 4, lifting the palms for 1, and then pressing up probably for about 1 to 2. The press up is explosive. It's the descent, the lowering your chest part to the ground. That is very controlled. So as I press up and I blow out, I exhale, my core is so turned on. Okay, plank time. So remember, corkscrew the hands into the mat like you're opening jar lids, which brings the shoulders back. Tuck your toes, chest is over the hands, gaze is forward at a diagonal. Press those palms into the mat. Pull your belly button back in and up. Give your buns a squeeze. Give your quadriceps a squeeze to lift your knees. And press through your heels towards the wall behind you. If at any time you need to come down to your knees, you come down to your knees and you keep pressing those hands into the mat. And then you get right back up off of those knees. Okay, friends. It's the big moment, the final burpee, the walking burpee. Remember, if you're not doing a burpee, you're doing a squat and you're doing it fast. Okay, plank. Step the left foot, step the right, squat up to stand, squat down. Palms on the mat, step the right foot back, then the left, and then step it up. You might be getting 3 of these. And that's fine. I want you to use good form. We are definitely ending with an elevated heart rate. All right, come down to your knees. I am going to switch this timer off, and we're going to come into a half kneeling stretch. So my right shin is on the mat, and my left knee is bent 90 degrees. I'm going to tuck my right toes under, bring your thumbs to the back of your bum, remind it to tuck under, and then feel a nice opening in the front of that right hip. You can keep both palms on the left knee, or you can bring the right arm up, which increases the stretch just a little bit. All right, we're gonna switch it out. Bring the left knee down, bring the right knee up. Find that tuck under in the tailbone, so head over shoulders, over hips, like your whole back could be against a wall. Bring both palms to that right knee rather, and then bring the left hand up. Having some trouble with my words here today. Feel the stretch right here in the front of this left hip. That's called our hip flexor. Gets really tight when we sit a lot. Sometimes it gets tight when we move, so it's important to stretch. All right, and then go ahead and come back down to your knees. We're gonna come into a little butterfly stretch. So sit on your bum, Bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Sit up straight and tall. You can kind of butterfly those knees if that feels good. I hope you enjoyed this one, friends. I'm proud of you. It was definitely a challenge. All right, we're gonna do one more stretch on each side. So bring your left shin to the mat. This is called a 90-90 stretch. We've got a 90-degree bend in the right leg and a 90-degree bend in the left leg. And we want to make sure that we're sitting up nice and straight and tall. So if you need to bend into one of the knees more, you can bend into the knee a little bit more. It's a really great opener for the outer hips. If you feel like you have the flexibility and you can keep your chest lengthened, so we're not hunching forward, we're lengthening up towards the ceiling, you can kind of walk your fingertips out in front of that front shin. And then go ahead and walk back up, and we're going to switch it out. So whichever shin was in back is now going to come parallel to the front of the mat. Sit up nice and straight and tall in that 90-90 degree stretch. It's also a little bit of a pretzel-y stretch. And then if you can keep your chest lifted and your hips going back, you're going to walk the fingertips in front of the right shin, or whichever shin is in front for you. All right, friends, pat on the back, virtual high five. Thank you so much for joining me for this workout. Meet me back here on Friday for our third Vinyasa yoga practice. Wow, where are the weeks going? And then next week will be our final week of our Sweat Smart 4-week challenge. Stay safe, friends. I'll see you back soon.